So unfunded liabilities, it's a big accounting term, and I know it's hard for people to understand, but in simplest terms, unfunded liabilities are the difference between what we have in the bank and what we owe for pension and healthcare legacy cost. And in the city of Port Huron, we have about $80 million in our pension fund, but we're short about $103 million in the pension fund. So there's an unfunded liability there of $103 million. And in the OPEBs, which is retiree healthcare, other retiree post benefits, that is about $37 million. So in total, we have an unfunded liability in the city of Port Huron about $140 million. And so it's an issue that's not just a Port Huron issue, it's a universal issue. About 100 cities across the state of Michigan have very similar amounts and in similar percentages, and we're about 50% funded. And so that's what we've been talking about, and because it's a statewide challenge, it's going to require a statewide solution, and so that's what we're looking at. It affects everybody. And so under state constitution, pensions are constitutionally protected. We owe that debt. And I want to speak directly to our pensioners and retirees today. You're safe, you're secure, your benefits cannot be cut. They are constitutionally protected. But for the city of Port Huron, we have to find a way to pay for that. And what we're dealing with is, because the unfunded liability has grown so great, the fund managers are shortening the amortization period, shortening the payment plan. So it's very similar to the housing crisis of 2008. It's a mortgage crisis. We have a large amount we owe, and we need to have a refinancing plan to pay that off over a longer period of time to allow us to have more manageable payments. For instance, last year we paid in the pension fund about $3.2 million. This year, it'll be about $4.9 million, and that number will grow to be $8 million. The issue is, with stagnant revenue, that's creating these budget shortfalls. And every budget deficit we've had in the last 5 years in the city of Port Huron is directly linked to our unfunded liabilities and our annual required contributions. And so, since you can't cut the benefits, and we legally cannot raise taxes, so we cannot cut the benefits to our retirees, nor would we. They have earned that, and that is a promise to them. And we cannot, by state constitution, raise taxes. And so there's two options. One, you cut services, or two, you restructure the liability. And what I want to work with is I want to work with the governor and the treasurer and the legislature with a coalition of more than 100 communities to develop a restructuring plan that allows us both to fulfill our obligations to our retirees and fulfill our promises, but at the same time ensure that we have the budget ability to deliver the quality essential services that our current citizens need and are required. And so that requires a restructuring of the payment plan, of the amortization schedule, and that's what we're working with the legislature on a prescription to address. So I want to be very clear about the city of Port Huron's current situation. The city of Port Huron is a remarkably strong community. Our unemployment rate has been cut in half in the last 5 years. Our industrial park is 95% full. We have companies investing millions of dollars, creating new jobs, hundreds of new jobs for our residents. We see more than $270 million being invested in the downtown district. We see housing values have risen by 4% last year alone. Our crime is being reduced. So the city of Port Huron is doing quite well. And I don't want people to interpret the challenges of government with the challenges of a community. The city of Port Huron is strong not because of government, but because of our people and our entrepreneurs. And so what we're working on in the city of Port Huron is how do we create a stable, conducive environment for our people and for our entrepreneurs to continue growing prosperity in our community. And that is stable and predictive government, safe and vibrant communities and neighborhoods, and a vibrant downtown. And so I'm hopeful for the future of Port Huron because I believe in our people, not because of government, but in spite of government. And so really, again, working on policies that enable and empower our residents to invest in their home, to build in their home, so they come into City Hall and get a permit and it's not a hassle. So that when they invest in their home and they keep up their property, that they're fairly taxed and fairly assessed, and that when we do tax them, that we spend their tax dollars as good stewards, providing quality police, fire, parks and recreation, and infrastructure that they pay for. And we're working very hard to do that. And we're reforming government, we're streamlining the permit process, we're streamlining the red tape to cut red tape, to make it easier to work with government. Government is here, we are in the service industry. We are a customer service business, and we need to serve our residents with quality customer service, and we're working to improve that every single day. So I'm very optimistic about the future of Port Huron. There's a lot of good things going, and we're going to work through this. This is going to work out. We will figure this out. I'm confident of it.